going to get fired up about this because this is just the truth about life, man. So many of us, we stay in a situation, and I don't necessarily mean a relationship. Please don't take my messages as I'm just talking about relationships. I'm talking about everything, right? We stay in situations that we know are not good for us, right? We do that. We stay in environments, we stay in jobs, we stay in relationships, we stay in friendships, we stay in bad habits, we stay in all these places that we know are not good for us. And a lot of us, what happens is we become afraid to make a decision. We become afraid to decide because the reason why we're afraid to make a decision, I get it, guys, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to grow at your life, if you want to change your life, if you want to better your life, if you want to heal your life, if you want to progress your life, you're going to have to make hard decisions. You're going to have to say, you know what, I can no longer be in this place. You know what, you're going to have to say, I can no longer have this around my life. You know what, you're going to have to say, I can no longer be around these things. I can no longer pertain to that foolishness. I can no longer do the same things that have gotten me nowhere. You have to make those decisions in your life. And so many of you, the reason why you're not happy is because you haven't made a decision that you know you need to make. And I feel you. I'm a person that I hate confrontation. I really do. I hate confrontation. I hate my peace being disrupted. I hate having hard conversations, but I know this. If I don't have the hard conversations, if I don't make the hard decisions, if I don't make the hard choices in my life, then that thing that's in my life is going to tear my life apart. I'm going to sit with that thing. It's like you're expecting to be healed. You're praying to be healed, but you're keeping the disease in your life. You're expecting to be healed, but you're keeping the pain in your life. You're expecting to have peace, but you're keeping the chaos in your life. And so what has helped me? And I want to share this with you. What has helped me make hard decisions in my life is I think about this. I don't think about the immediate pain that's going to happen because let's be real. You make a hard decision, whether it's removing somebody from your life or whether it's leaving a job, it's going to be immediate pain that happens. Immediate pain, right? It's going to be confrontation, maybe. It's going to be people talking about you. It's going to be just a whole bunch of uncomfortableness going on in your life. But this is what I know is true. If you don't make the hard choice in your life and make the decision that you need to make, that uncomfortableness, you're going to live with that the rest of your life. So you have to ask yourself a real question that I ask myself. Do you want to go through a period of uncomfortableness, as I like to call it, being uncomfortable? Or do you want to stay with a lifetime of being uncomfortable? Do you want to stay with a lifetime of being unhappy? Do you want to stay with a lifetime of being miserable? Do you want to stay in a lifetime of feeling alone even when you're not alone? So you have to make those decisions. And what's always pushes me, and this is going to change you guys' life when it comes to this, I promise you. If you really get this, I talked about this with my son, Tristan, on the way to football practice yesterday. We always had these conversations. But what always helps me is realizing the future, realizing my life, that I know I'm going to push through this moment of this uncomfortable season of making this hard decision, this uncomfortable season of operating without this person a part of my life, this uncomfortable season of leaving this habit alone, this uncomfortable season, I'm going to pass through it. And then I'm going to get to a place where I'm healed. I'm going to get to a place where I have strength. I'm going to get to a place where that thing that used to have so much power over me that was back there no longer has any power in me. That thing that used to hold me back no longer holds me back. That thing that used to take so much space in my head, living rent free, is no longer in my life. I evicted it. That's what I'm talking about with you guys. Guys, you got to learn how to make decisions in your life. And one tactic that I use, and I want you to do this with your life, and it's different for everybody, but I put a price tag on that person. I put a price tag on that environment. I put a price tag on that situation. I feel like my life is priceless, right? I feel like my life is priceless. I told my son the other day, I said, what's something that you really care about? He said, Dad, I want to make it to the NFL. I said, okay, well, that's the price tag that you put on things. You got to ask yourself this question, Tristan. I said, Tristan, is that friend, right? Is that friend that's causing all these things in your life worth the NFL? I said, is that situation worth the NFL? Is that habit worth the NFL? How much is it really costing you? Because if it's costing you your peace, it's too expensive. If it's costing you your sanity, it's too expensive. If it's costing you your confidence, it's too expensive. If it's costing you your high self-esteem, it's too expensive. If it's costing you anything in your life that you know is better in your life, it is too expensive. So what I've learned to do, I've learned to put $1 million price tag on things and on people. And I ask myself, is this person worth $1 million? Is this situation worth $1 million? And as a waltz, about to sting me. Is this person worth this in my life? And I say, no, I'm going to make the decision because I refuse to keep a situation in my life that is preventing me from what my life is supposed to be. That's preventing me. Some of us will never get to it because we're afraid to let go of it. Whew. Some of us will never get to it because we're afraid to let go of it. We will never get to the other side because we're afraid to let go. Some of us, we're carrying unnecessary weight, unnecessary baggage. We're trying to go to these new destinations. And listen, have you ever been traveling and you got a lot of baggage, unnecessary baggage? Like, man, why do I pack all this stuff? Like, I am tired. And some of us, we are bringing unnecessary baggage on our destination of growth, on our destination of change, and you're so afraid to drop the baggage. You're so afraid. Some of us, we never let go because we're so comfortable in the pain. We're so comfortable with it. We are addicted to comfort as human beings. We want to stay comfortable. So I don't care if it's pain. I don't care if it's stress. As long as we know what we're going to get, oftentimes we will stay in it. That's why a lot of you are staying in situations that you know are terrible for your life. But you're so afraid of the unknown. You would rather choose a known pain than an unknown peace. And so when you learn to make the hard decisions by creating leverage in your life, by telling yourself, is this worth it? Is this worth your dreams? Is this worth your growth? Is this worth becoming the greatest you? Is this worth, taking your life to the next level? Is this worth your business? Is this worth your finances? Is this worth your peace? Is this worth your spirituality? Is this worth your mental health? You got to ask yourself those questions. If it's not worth it, then you got to remove it. You got to make that hard decision. And the decision is not easy. The decision sucks. But I tell you, in order to move up, there are some things you must be willing to give up, straight up. In order to move up, there are some things you must be willing to give up. For me, it was the NFL. It was the quest to keep on trying to play. I had to give up that in order to get this. Sometimes, oh man, as these walls keep coming, I get stung too many times up here. So many times we are holding on to something, right, that we need to let go of, and we can never receive the better that's meant for our life because we won't let go of it. Some of us, we can't receive the peace that is meant for our life because we're holding on to the comfortable pain. All right. So this whole message was to get you to make whatever hard decision in your life. And if you don't decide, I've said this a million times, if you don't decide, life will decide for you. If you don't make a choice, life will make a choice for you. And I promise you, it works a lot better when you make the choice instead of life making the choice. It takes a lot better when you take lead over your life and instead of allowing life to take lead over your life. But again, it's your life. Do what you want to do. Stay what you want to stay in. It's your life. Don't let me tell you. I don't have to live with your decision, by the way. I don't, right? Don't be like, oh, Trent told me to do this and I did it. I don't have to live with your decision. But I'm just here to hopefully give you some context around why you need to make decisions in your life. And there's nothing special about anything in my life. When I look back and realize how far I've came with my life, it all was just decisions. Sometimes I made the wrong decisions. Sometimes I made the right decisions, but I decided with my life. All right, guys. So make decisions this weekend if you can. Make the hard decisions. Have the hard conversations. Do the things you need to do, because if not, you're gonna live in a pause, as I like to call it, a pause of life, where you're just staying stuck in a moment. You feel like nothing is changing, nothing is progressing. You just feel like you're alive. Like you're not living, you just feel like you're alive. How many of us feel like that? Tap the heart and the like button if you feel like that. If you feel like nothing's getting better, nothing maybe is getting worse, you just feel like you're existing. And you feel like there's no energy, no passion in your life. You gotta make a decision, man. You gotta make a decision. You only get one of these. And being around people that are suffering, being around people that have lost their life, being around people that are going through things, man, I refuse, bro. Like I refused to waste my life. I refuse to waste my life and stay in situations because I was afraid to make a decision. I don't care who likes it. And that's another thing. We're so wrapped up into what the world thinks and what people are going to say. And listen, you're allowing people, and some of us are afraid not to make the decision. We're afraid of the backlash that comes with it. We're afraid of what people are going to say. A lot of us, we're afraid of opinions, even though we say we don't care what people think. A lot of us, we're afraid of opinions. And let me tell you something. Being afraid of people's opinions and not making a decision because of what people think, you are allowing a person that is not even a part of your life, especially with social media these days, you're allowing people that are not even a part of your life that are convincing you to stay in a thing of pain when they don't have to live with it. And so I refuse for myself to ever let anyone persuade me to live in a prison of pain when they ain't got to deal with it. So you got to make the decisions for you and what's right for you. Okay? You have to make those decisions for you and what's right for you. And until you make those decisions in your life, nothing will change. And I know these are not the sugar-coated, messages that a lot of people say to you to make you feel good. And I get it, Trent. Why do you always have to be so tough? And why you have to step on our toes? because I really want you to make change. And I know what keeping bad things in your life, I know where that leads to. I know that leads to suicide. I know that leads to low self-esteem. I know that leads to a lot of things in our life. And there's so many people on here can attest to that. And I refuse on my watch to allow you to keep anything in your life that's taken away from it. I refuse. Because the first step to unhappiness is trying to please everyone else. The first step to growth is removing the things that don't help you grow. Simple. But it's the simple things that are hard to apply. Like I said in every single video, man, it all starts with you. I got to get home and finish this run, but protect your peace, man. Get out in nature. Talk to God. Pray to God. You know, and sometimes we're waiting on God to like make the decision for us. But I'm going to tell you something about faith. Oftentimes, God doesn't make the decision for us. He wants us to trust him. God gives us, you want to say signs or whatever. Some of us be praying for signs when we already got reasons. God has already showed you. And until you make the decision and step out on faith, nothing in your life is going to change, man. If you want to better your life, make better decisions. And how do you make better decisions? You know your values, you know what you stand for, you know what you want out of your life, you know what you feel, you know what you prioritize. And you let those be the guide to help you make the decisions in your life. I thank you guys for always supporting, always showing up. It means the world to me. And just know, man, I'm always working on being the best me, not just for me and my family and those around me, but for you guys, man. I can't talk about things that I don't live. And so that's why I'm out here taking care of my health. That's why I'm always trying to find better ways to communicate, better ways to help, because I truly care, man. If you know my story, if you know why I started Rehab Time, it wasn't to be popular. It wasn't to be known. Like those things even give me anxiety, honestly. It's simply because I want to help people, better their life. I had a friend that committed suicide. It was my promise to him. So that's why I go so hard. That's why I'm so passionate about this. And every single day I get a message that says, Trent, man, I was almost about to take my life, but blah, 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 help me. This video helped me. This message helped me. This live helped me. And that's why I do it. So I'm not a perfect human being. I don't try to be perfect when I come on here. I'm not polished, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm purposeful as heck, boy. I'm purposeful as heck, and that's why you guys feel that energy. All right? Let's get it, man. I got to stop talking. I got to get to running. I love you. Talk to you soon. Straight up.